The only thing we have to beer is beer itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course our fermenter-tainer,
Wayne Baker.
Now tonight we have returned. We're back. We're in our table. We've been here before. We're at Brewphoria, which is this is 15, right?
13.
13.
But
Lucky number 13.
But it's 2015. Maybe that's where I got that from.
Yeah.
But it's
Perhaps.
Brewphoria 13. We're here at our table again, recording. It's gonna be a good night. There's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces too, and the crowd is starting to come in.
And they are rushing to the buffet.
They are rushing to the buffet.
You know
with
it's
the
a good
fantastic-
beer fest when everyone gets food and then sits down
Yep.
before they
And
even
then
go to the beer.
I see a few people that are going straight to the beer. They
Sure.
probably pre-buffeted.
Pre-buffet. Why would you pre-buffet? The buffet here is so
The
good.
buffet is amazing.
I don't know. Maybe they went to Infinitos.
Yeah. That's one of the great perks about working this event is that we got first crack at the buffet before they opened the doors.
And we had spring rolls.
And we also had some hors
and
d'oeuvres
grilled
brought
cheese.
around.
And some kind of eggplant bruschetta.
Eggplant parm on like this awesome toast. The food here is great. I
Food
love
here's
the
always
food
awesome.
here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff that's going to happen. We're going to get some guests on the mic soon. We're right next to the Hopheads guys. Hi, Hopheads guys. They're eating. They can't.
Hi, Hopheads guys.
Oh, now Kevin heard. Wes is over there shoving pork into his mouth. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, my friend. This episode is brought to you by Audible. Audible audiobooks. It's a subsidiary of Amazon. Good stuff comes all around. If you go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters, you can get a free Audible book. A free...
Nice.
Yeah. Free is good. Free is great.
Free is very
I
good.
still haven't listened to the book that I downloaded a while ago, but I have it.
You know what's even better?
What's that?
Getting something for free and at the same time supporting your favorite, most awesome beer podcast.
Of course.
That's right.
Of course, this is true. As we've realized, we need new equipment so we can get you better interviews with more guests and have more people on so you can be more familiar with the craft beer community. So you get a free book. You get to feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside because you're helping us out, and you get a huge load of gratitude from the Beer Busters.
That's right.
So audibletrial.com/beerbusters. Go ahead and sign up. I think on that note, we should probably get right to it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it to it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. First up, we have an old friend who, every time I see him, I have to remind him of how blackout, obliterated drunk he got me before. Which, I mean, thank you for that. But my hangover was a nightmare. Anyway, we've got Dane from St. Boniface. Dane, how are you?
I'm doing great. I was surprised. It took you 5 seconds to say that.
5 whole seconds.
What did you set the over-under at?
I don't know. I didn't think about it. But next time I will.
Yeah.
What I think is funny is every time you do bring that up, the superlatives just keep piling on.
Hey,
It's
we
becoming legendary.
do what we can to please.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yes.
right.
Well, that was a fun night, and
That was a
I'm
great night.
upset I haven't gotten a chance to go back to St. Boniface yet because I had to work during Boniface this year.
Oh, yeah.
I
you did
tried
make it.
so hard to get that day off. I had the date after off, and I couldn't switch with anybody.
That was
You'll
a
have
fun
to,
time.
I'll have
I
to
don't
get
doubt
you
it.
the date as soon as we know it.
Yes,
There you
please.
go.
And then you can schedule it.
Yeah.
Schedule it ahead of time.
You'll have
Vacation
plenty
day.
of
Well,
time.
I'll take the whole weekend. That way I can recover.
There you go.
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna get blackout, obliterated drunk.
Beer Busters podcast does not condone binge drinking.
No. This is all responsibly, but every now and then you just got to let loose.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
The
And
two
you
of you
had a
found that-
driver.
Exactly,
That's
I
true.
did.
So you
I
were
did.
safe. You're good to go.
This time I'll have to crash at your place. That way Rich can drive me too. So I really got to get the whole weekend.
Okay, sounds good. We'll
All
make
right,
a weekend
we can
of
do
it.
that. We can do that. What's new at St. Boniface?
Oh, wow.
That's a loaded question.
There
Sorry.
is a lot new. Actually, we just got 4 new 30-barrel tanks.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
And-
saw it's looking tight in that brewery.
Yeah, it is. So our former recording space, when you guys were last there, we can still squeeze in there some way. But it's we got 4 new 30 barrels and a 15-barrel bright. They're slowly coming online. It's just a great thing that we haven't been able to keep up with beer production since we got our new system last fall, and it's crazy. It's incredible. So we're really excited about that.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. I remember that space empty. The first
Yeah.
Bonifest,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. and it was just an empty space. Well, there was people were sitting in there eating,
Yeah.
and it's awesome to hear that it's continuing to fill up.
Yeah, it is tight in there. We are currently, or actually I should say, the last batch of cans we did in between there, but our eventual goal is to move the canning line over into the other bay, so we have a little bit more flexibility with things. So
Very nice, very
Cool.
nice.
So there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon then too.
Oh, absolutely,
Which is good. I'm
absolutely.
really glad to hear that. So what do you guys have with you tonight?
Well, we brought our real popular Paideia Pale Ale,
Yes.
Which
Love me some Paideia.
that
Which
was
is
at the
even better in a can.
I texted Dusty and I said, hey, when what do you want me to bring? He's like, Paideia. Like, it was the 3-second response. So and then the second beer we brought tonight is our molasses porter.
Which I'm excited because I have not had that
Yeah, I
yet.
have not had it
None
either.
of us have had that yet.
Yeah.
Paideia is awesome. Obviously,
such
one of
a
your
good
your
beer.
standbys, most popular beers, and it's so good.
People
It's
love the
delicious.
Citra hops.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
Uh-huh.
definitely do.
Oh, yeah.
Anything new coming in cans, or are you still sticking with this and libation?
So, Paideia and libation in cans. Our eventual goal would be next on the list would be 3-pound, and maybe hegemony, but those are not. Despite rumors that people keep on asking me, those are not in the works right now. We're focusing on trying to get things, see kind of where the dust settles after all our new expansion, and see what we can do after that. So, but we have some other new beers coming out, and that we're pretty excited about over the next couple months. We're doing another brew with Columbia Kettleworks.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So we've done Kettleface with them, or
Right.
Kettleface, however you want to pronounce it. And we actually did that again, just a little bit of a different alliteration. It's going to be a double dry hopped Kettleface, and we're going to bottle it in 22 ounces, and it will be released right before Christmas time. So people are already clamoring about that. So we're kind of
So it's right around the corner.
Yeah. It was brewed 2 days ago. So
Wow.
the guys from Columbia Kettleworks are good friends of ours, so we
Cool.
like doing stuff with them.
Awesome.
So, and we have our 5th anniversary coming up. In,
Wow.
5
already.
years already?
That is nuts.
How
So-
time flies.
Well,
Wow.
it's kind of weird because people, don't think of it as 5 years because we haven't been at our location that we're at for 5 years, but we've been open for 5 years.
Yeah.
We
The
moved
tiny
locations.
little basement nano brewery.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a special version of hegemony coming out that we're going to be bottling for our anniversary. So look for details on that coming out soon. So
Yay!
we're pretty excited about
We
that.
can't wait.
Our podcast is being crashed right now.
It's allowed to be crashed.
You have to wait your turn, John.
He's on deck, actually,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
He's
like he
next up.
knew to come over.
It's in his bones.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I just snuck in a sip of the molasses
Yeah.
porter. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap. This is good.
It's very
got,
good.
It's got this nice, when people hear the name molasses, they think like super sweet, but that's not what you're getting. You're
Yeah.
getting, as John always says, he said, it's a very, a little bit too much, and it could go the wrong way. But I think it gives this nice little smoky flavor in
Yeah.
the end,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I was gonna say
think
that.
really surprises some people when they hear molasses. They're thinking uber sweet, but I think it's just a great beer to enjoy in the fall.
Yeah.
Not too heavy.
There's a little sweetness in there, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's like you said. It's not what you would think when you hear molasses, because it's not thick like molasses either.
Right.
It's easy drinking. It's got the smokiness, the sweetness. I really like this.
I want a Fosnot right now.
This will be
I
good with
really
the
do.
Fosnot.
It would be great.
You should get a crowler and save it for Fosnacht Day.
That's
There you go.
perfect.
There you go.
Or
What
maybe
is-
we'll save a keg for our anniversary, which will be right around the same time.
Yes, perfect.
There you
And
go.
you can serve
Fosnots
Fosnots with it.
Look at this. Free ideas, man. It's gold right here. This is
Marketing
gold.
genius. Let me write it down.
That's right. And we won't even charge.
That's
We should
right.
start doing that. We've
No,
given
as
out
long
a
as
lot
they
of
give
ideas.
us
Well, that's
beer.
true. We get a lot of
Yeah.
beer.
As long as we get beer.
Yeah.
We'll
That's
work
how
for
we get
beer.
paid.
We'll work for beer.
That's
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But this porter is really good. So this was formerly your offering number 11, but now it's going to become
Yeah,
regular thing?
Yeah, so our offering series is our pseudo like one-offs. We playing around stuff, and this was real popular. Originally was actually a beer that we brewed for the Hamilton Club in Lancaster, and it was our offering number 11, and we brewed it again last fall, and it was under the same name. But we kind of dropped that offering 11 for now. till we give it a formal name, which will probably be next year, maybe. I'm assuming the response to it out and about this year has been great, so I'm sure it'll be back again.
Yes, that's awesome. I am so glad to hear that. I'm very
I wish I
glad
would
to
have brought more.
No.
You guys aren't going to have anything to drink all night.
No, I mean, I'm quitting drinking, so. Well, after the night I had the other night, I probably should.
Yeah. Well,
Which was not at St. Boniface.
It was not. No. This was at some bar and then at my house with whiskey and.
And the story should end there.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause usually
You
that's
should
where a
never
story with
mix
with whiskey.
liquor and
The
beer.
story ends there because I don't remember the rest of the night. Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, Dane, thank you for starting us off with some tasty brews.
Hey guys, I always love sitting down and talking to you guys. It's
We
always
love
a good
having
time.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And I love watching your adventures.
Thank you.
Cool.
And we're going to have to come back out to St. Boniface. As long as you can squeeze a
shizzle.
podcast into your brewery, we will be there.
We'll find some space
Or
somewhere.
we'll invade the tasting room.
Or we'll go to the
side.
tasting room, too.
There
That's
you
fun,
go.
too.
We could do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Dane, thank you so much,
Hey,
man.
thanks so much.
cheers, man.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
We're on round 2. And what I like about there's a lot of things I like about the person that we have coming on with us right now. When we recorded with you last time, we also had mac and cheese. So there's a common thread there.
And we had mac and cheese today as well.
We had mac and cheese here. I'm noticing a
That's
good trend
right.
here.
It's
So
good mac and
Every
cheese.
time
too.
we record with John Stemler, we have mac and cheese.
Yes. So there goes the intro. We have
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
No, don't worry. That's totally fine. We have Mr. John Stemler sitting with us from, of course,
Yay.
Free Will. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
Good, man. Thanks for coming back up to the table with us.
Sure.
Yeah. You guys are, we're recording with you at a Sour Sunday.
January 31st.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been trying to promote that with people I work with because I'm finding out more people that I work with like sour beers. So, of course, I have to point them in your direction.
Yep, and this man knows how to make them.
Although you're wearing a shirt that says Saison on it.
Yes, I do. It's from Trinity Brewing Company.
All right.
Nice.
Cool shirt. I like that shirt. I'm going to get me one of them.
He makes a lot of sours too.
Okay, cool.
Some amazing sours, yes.
Uh-huh.
Now, surprisingly, you don't have any sours with you here, though.
We brought Blood and Guts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just withheld it from you.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
Saving it for the people. That's
We
okay.
remember the new brew review when I did Blood and Guts?
And it had the knife?
And I tried to do the knife with
The blood
ketchup
on.
to make blood. He had a heck of a time trying to edit it to make it actually look like
I
blood.
photoshopped in more blood.
So how does a sour go over at a festival? I can imagine it's hit or miss.
Surprise. Well, we took the description, which is right in front, and then I wrote in pen, sour, exclamation point. And you still got to tell them, and yeah, I'll try that. And you get the shocked look on their face, like, what the
This isn't an IPA.
What did I just drink?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
black. Why isn't it stout?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure you get the people that appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And more every day.
Okay, good. I mean, they're drinking one from the master of sours, so how could they not? Yeah.
Let's not
He's
go
so
that far.
humble.
Let's not go that
So
far.
is that what inspired Sour Sunday, wanting to convert people, teach people, or just because you love making them?
Actually, we did our first sort of half-ass bottle release with the White, which was Philly Beer Scene Awards, and I posted it 3 days prior to a Sunday and just threw it up there, and a whole bunch of extra people just showed up. So I went, maybe there's a few more sour heads in the area than I think there are. So I tried the Sour Sunday and just decided to take all the clean beer off and put more sour beer on, and people just showed up. So there's enough of us in the area that it's worth having it at least once a week, once a month.
Yeah.
Or there's plenty of us not in the area willing to drive,
Right.
so
Of course.
it's a good time.
Now, you have Blood and Guts with you, but you have 2 beers that are in pitchers that you were kind of bring over, and Steph also has something that she is cuddling with right now.
She's got a scary little squealer over there.
Oh, the squealers, the squealers.
Scary little squealer. You
But,
know, I just got to say, though, I think the very first time you ever sat at one of our mics was at Brewphoria
Yeah.
I think it was.
last
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
And you also brought pitchers of beer then.
That's
And
right.
I knew then that I was going to like you.
Good way to make friends. Bring beer.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. So we're starting with Craggle, right?
Craggle!
Yep.
Which
Craggle.
every time I drink now, I think of the Lego movie.
As you should.
Yeah. Everything is awesome.
This beer is awesome.
I
was
only,
gonna
I only
say-
work in black or really dark gray.
Oh, boy.
There's so many beer names in that movie, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Lord Business,
Lord Business. That's a good one.
The Special,
Well, you got to have Taco Tuesday then also.
Taco Tuesday, yeah. Actually, when I was out in California, I was at a brewery and I showed up there on Tuesday and like, hey, it's Taco Tuesday. I was like, score.
We have Taco Tuesday at our house. Every Tuesday we make tacos. It's a real thing.
That's
a real
cool.
thing.
I wouldn't have thought that with you with tacos, but okay.
Soy chorizo is amazing.
No.
Oh my.
Well, I enjoy this beer a lot.
It's bright, it's citrusy, it's effervescent, it's drinkable. It's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
It's
all of those
IPA.
things.
It's an IPA.
It's an IPA.
But
It's a good IPA.
Yeah,
It's a really good
It's
IPA.
not an IPA that punches you in the throat with the hop bitterness. It's
Yep.
there, but there's other levels to it too.
It's well
All
attenuated.
things in balance.
Exactly.
Yes, it is very dry. It definitely finishes shallow.
That's how I like my IPAs. Dry and shallow.
Dry and shallow. That's how I like my women.
As a side note, there's somebody wearing a Why Not Radio T-shirt floating around.
Nice.
And Mr. Ryan Forney is here as well.
How are you?
With the mutton
oh
chops.
my gosh. What a small world.
Yeah. Anyway.
Gotta love Brewphoria.
Yeah, this is my favorite fest to come to. It's actually kind of out of my comfort driving zone because it's an hour and 15 for me. But they take such good care of us here. It's just awesome. And I know exactly where I'm going every time I walk in.
Yeah.
That's true.
Dusty puts on a good shindig.
Yeah.
I don't have to wonder. I just go right to my spot.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what he did for us too. We have the same table in the corner every time. So
In the corner.
Yeah, he's shoving us in the corner, but we get free beer and free food. And,
Yes.
Almost arm's length reach from the mac and cheese.
Almost. We are
Almost.
pretty close.
Well,
are
I mean,
pretty
if we combine, we could like make a chain that
Yep.
would go up there,
That qualifies.
Like
I
a-
really should stop eating mac and cheese.
like a human
It's
mac and
so-
cheese centipede.
close.
And don't swim for at least 45 minutes because you will sink.
We'll see.
Was swimming
Like
even
a
so
stone.
dense and thick.
Yes. This is a great fest, though, and one of the things that makes it such a great fest is the limited attendance. You know, this is a big place. And I know when we were here the first time, we talked about this a lot, how you could pack a lot more people in here if you wanted to.
But
Yeah.
you don't.
But they don't, and that's what makes it a more intimate affair. And I think it attracts more people who are, you know, more beer geeks than just your average, you know, beer fest where you're going to get a lot of people who just want to get drunk.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your glass was empty.
You can drink this anytime, you know. This beer. So COB is what we've got up next, and I think my favorite memory of this beer. There's two memories I have of this beer, and I don't have many specific memories with beers, but one was with Greg Orth when he broke out like a chocolate covered coffee bean for us to drink to eat.
And we
with
had
this.
it with this.
And then at Free Will, we had this on Nitro,
Right.
which
yes.
was amazing.
Yes.
It was.
Amazing.
Yes, it was.
It was. Yeah, this is my favorite coffee beer. I
It's-
love it. But I hate that it's so high in alcohol.
Wait, what is the ABV?
Sorry. 8.3.
Hey,
It's up there.
You need to make a baby version of this, but make it taste exactly the same.
Well, we just made a bigger version of this.
Oh,
That we put in rum barrels.
Oh my God.
COBRB, right?
Well, that was what the original version was, but this one we actually added more to the recipe. We added some dark brown sugar and brought the alcohol up for extended ageability and put it in rum barrels, cruising rum barrels that we just got that were super fresh, and it's probably going to get close to 11%.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Will that be ready in time for when we're there for Sour Sunday?
It is quite possible. The rum barrels were really potent. It went in 2 weeks ago. I expected mid-January they'd be getting close. So, yeah, I would yes.
Wow.
Pretty safe to say it's a yes.
Oh, I'm
Nice.
gonna need a DD that day.
Right, there he is.
Yeah, but you guys live on the other side of
Oh,
that
yeah.
from me.
That's true.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Can you Uber it? Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Don't ever say that fucking word again.
Wow.
Shit just got serious, folks.
Dan has some Uber stories, if you can't
I
tell.
get that. Sounds like a show.
Fucking Uber.
Oh, my.
But not this beer.
Not this. Well, I mean, you can say this fucking beer, but it's you're happy when you say
Yeah, for sure.
it. Like my blood doesn't boil when I say it for this. My liver gets so happy then. Oh God, this beer is so good.
At what point in the process do you add the coffee?
After the beer is completely fermented, we basically crash the beer so it's ready for carbonation, but then we put the coffee beans that are coarse roasted and are coarse ground, and roasted 24 hours prior. That way it's at the peak of its usability. Because coffee is like a loaf of bread. It's really downhill really fast. 24 hours is the peak of perfection. So it goes into the coffee or into the beer at that time, stays in there for 36-ish hours. And we basically cold brew coffee inside of the beer.
Inside the beer,
my God.
And that's probably what gives it, because it has a really nice, fresh ground coffee character.
You got to take care of the coffee as much as you take care of the beer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And normally, sometimes you get a coffee beer that it's like, it's so overwhelming, the coffee flavor, and it's not blended with it. But this is what I want out of a coffee beer.
Well, this base beer even has like some coffee notes to it, so it was really worked out really well. We use Speakeasy Coffee, and he is as passionate about Colombian roast as we are, because that's what we use in this. We need like a lighter to medium roast, or it becomes too roasty, if that makes any sense. It's a brown ale, it's not a stout.
Right.
And people still say, I like your coffee oatmeal stout. I'm like,
nope.
No.
Nope.
The last letter is B.
Yeah.
I like your Cos beer.
Cobb's good. I get a lot. Yeah.
Cobb.
Have the Cobb.
Have the Cobb, please.
I like my corn off the cob.
Are you? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Breaking out the safe word.
Steph is breaking out the safe word.
Trying not to spill it.
Oh, that's filled to the brim. Holy. Wow.
Yeah.
You may be my
people.
new favorite brewer, period, just because you came to a fest and brought me a growler of safe word.
Yep, just for you.
I'm scared. I don't know that I've ever had this. I've probably had this. That probably made me drink it at one point.
Made you drink it.
Yeah.
I've
Hold 'em
had
down.
it in a growler in my fridge a few times.
Steph informed me that she has procured Crime and Punishment for Christmas Eve this year,
Oh,
Dan.
Jesus.
I heard that hurts too.
All right, I'm only
In a
taking
good way.
a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass.
I took a little more than I wanted to. In the words of Slimy Sauce,
Smells like betrayal.
smells like betrayal indeed. Actually, that's the thing. It doesn't smell like it's going to kill me.
It's all mango in the nose.
Yep, it's a trick.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's a delicious beer. It's a really delicious beer.
Actually, this isn't as hot as I would have figured.
It's got a creeping kick.
It creeps up on you.
Yeah.
Give it a minute.
Maybe I didn't take a big enough sip. But
It's
no, you
so
get the
good.
mango right. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Oh, it's a great beer. I'm a spice pussy. It doesn't take much for me
Me
to
too.
be like,
That's why I'm
"Whoa."
not drinking it.
What led you to brew this, then, if you don't like spicy stuff?
This was a collaboration originally with Full Pint, and it was a big FU beer for Philly Beer Week. Not towards Philly Beer Week,
Right.
but for Philly Beer Week.
Right.
And people just lost their mind. So we made it again, and they still lost their mind. And then we made it again, and they still lost their mind.
Right.
So we went, okay, now where does this beer fit? Okay, we don't make a stupid Christmas beer, so this will be our stupid spice beer for the wintertime.
Nice.
Because it warms you up.
It certainly
That's
does.
true.
It certainly
Yeah.
does. I'm sweating a little bit over here. And I only took like one
It's
sip.
very well balanced,
Oh,
though.
it is.
I mean, you
Oh, it
still
is.
get the beer. The mango is
Yeah.
so good. It warms you up. It's a great beer.
That's why I got to watch all the other spice beers that are like high in pepper content, because
Yeah.
they tend to be too small of a beer to support all that heat.
Right.
You need to have some substance.
It
to the
can't
beer.
just be heat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the parts of this beer work without the rest of the parts.
Right.
That's a sign of a good beer.
Yes, it is.
It's in balance, and I hate it.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
love you for making
I'm
it.
just going to stop talking for a minute or two.
You gonna start hiccuping soon?
I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be pretty.
It's good. The burn is definitely more than the last time I had it.
It depends on when you get it, and it is a little bit erratic because capsaicin is a little bit is an oil-based chemical, so
Yeah.
it doesn't stay exactly in the same place in the beer all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
This
get
is
some
really
erratic
good. It's one of my
kegs.
favorite versions, or one of my favorite whatever growler fills of it. But it's the same way with habanero sculpin. Every time you buy a six-pack, it could be not so spicy,
varies,
and then
yeah.
some of them are
Yep.
really spicy. You just
Yep.
you never know. It's
And it's
part
also
of
your
the
mood,
trick.
what you've had before, what you're
Yeah.
eating, how you're feeling, all that
How
stuff.
vulnerable you're feeling at the
Yes.
moment.
Yep.
We recorded at 0 Day last month, and Mike was there, Farmer
Of course.
Mike,
Oh my God. Shocker.
with
Yeah.
his habaneros,
brought.
and I just chopped a fresh one up and stuck it right in one.
Yeah.
I thought Theo was gonna cry. He's like, "You're just putting peppers in my
What
beer.
are you doing to my beer?
What are you doing?" I was like, "Sorry."
Some people get upset when you mess with their beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got over it though. It was a fun day.
That was a fun day. Sorry, I'm just now gaining the ability to speak again. I think I need some Tums.
No.
Like, it wasn't hot up front, but like, it's like right there, like between my chest and my stomach. What's that called?
A small ball of fire.
It's like my diaphragm. Like my diaphragm.
Your diaphragm is on fire.
John, look what you've done.
Wow. These are
You evil son of a bitch.
some brilliant tasting notes.
Yeah, right.
We'll set your diaphragm on fire.
And ouch.
And ouch,
Ouch.
exactly. Yeah.
I have friends that drink this by the gallon. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Same thing is wrong with Steph.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Steph
Same
one of
thing.
them?
I don't know what it is.
Guess it shrugs. Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
Something for everyone.
Something for everyone,
true,
indeed,
yes.
including COB.
Yeah, my recommendation for this beer is to use it to make chicken.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you
That's
go.
a good idea.
Awesome. with
That
chicken.
sounds like it would be really good.
Seems like a waste of beer.
I might have to get some because I've got some chicken at home to cook.
Yes.
Steph's hoarding what's left. It's
You're
fine,
not
Steph.
using that to make
Don't
chicken.
worry. Don't worry.
That's going in my mouth later.
Man. John, thank you so much for coming up
Sure.
to the table, man. Thank
Anytime.
you for bringing the pictures of beer, and thank you for sneaking Steph some safe word.
That's right.
And Steph, thank you for sharing it. I didn't expect you to do that.
Yeah, I'm a good person.
You are.
Most of the time,
Let
yeah.
nobody ever say anything else.
That's right. John, we can't wait for January.
Yeah, it's
We're
gonna be
excited
awesome.
to come back.
It's
It's gonna be great
either.
coming
the
out.
only time I've ever looked forward to January.
That's
We'll
some
make
high
sure we have
praise.
lots of safe word for you.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll be warm all day. John, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, man. Cheers.
Cheers. So now we've got joining us at the table, we have Brian and Courtney from Helltown Brewing. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
great.
Glad to be here.
Good. We're glad to have you here. I was very happy when I found out you guys were going to be at Brewphoria. Steph had been out to your location before and brought back
About a year ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you brought back a growler of something. I don't remember what it was, but you were kind enough to share
Yeah, I got a growler of the IPA, I think.
it. Was it this IPA?
Was it the Rapture or Idle Hands?
I think it was the Rapture.
Rapture sounds familiar.
And then I got a bottle of something that was pretty awesome too.
Was it our Creek?
Probably
maybe?
the
Yes,
Creek.
the Creek. Because I bought a bottle for myself and a bottle for my brother.
Yeah,
Mine
we're
did
really
not
happy
last
with
very
that
long.
one.
It was
Nice.
delicious. That's where That's where the brewer let me smell the bong.
Oh, is that?
Oh, that's where.
And he actually
That sounds like something that
took
would
out
happen
the
at
bong and let me
Helltown.
smell it. That's right.
That is something that would
That's
happen
a
in
famous
Helltown.
story on
Nice.
Beer Busters. Me talking about smelling the barrel.
Yes.
Was it the sherry barrels or
Yes.
the sour barrels?
Yes.
Yeah, so some of the sherry barrels did get moved into kegs. So you're going to see our sherry barrel aged barley wine. I know that
yeah.
Canal Street definitely did get one.
Awesome.
Mary's Six Pack got one too. So
Nice.
definitely be on the lookout for that. That's one of the best beers to ever come out of our brewery.
And it is quite a beer at 13.5%.
Oh my God!
Wow. It's right up Dan's alley.
I had a newfound respect this week for big beers. I found a bottle in my fridge that Steph gave me a while ago of Bourbon County. So it was a 2013, but
yeah.
it was 14.9%.
Oh, yeah.
big
And
one.
I remembered
Yeah.
how much I love big beers.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're really good whenever they drink like they're 8 and
Oh,
they just
my
kind of
God, yeah.
surprise you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Now you were saying you have a couple of beers that you brought to the table. So which one are we starting with here?
So we're starting with the Reaper's Harvest, which is our rye IPA. It's we use an unholy amount of rye in this beer. It's pardon the pun, but it if we don't wash it, it'll come out of the mash tun kind of like cement. But
Oh,
cement.
wow.
So,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one to brew. We use a special Indian palm sugar that comes wrapped in these weird burlap sacks, like actually from India, that still has little bits of the palm in it.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, we get to fish those out as we're
Nice.
incorporating
Yeah.
it.
It'll give you a lot of sweetness that you don't expect to find in a rye beer.
It does have a nice sweetness to the end, and
And a little bit of the spiciness from the rye. I call it a Thanksgiving beer because it goes so well with turkey dinner. The gravy, it cuts through the grease of it really well.
I like the way you think. I would like to try that this year.
There's
so we
usually
don't-
food involved.
there's usually
Yeah.
food involved. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, we don't do a pumpkin beer or anything like that. This is our fall seasonal, and we basically just brew what we like to drink. So
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's another one that's being passed around.
Don't empty it. I'll drink
I'm
what's
not
left.
gonna empty it. Don't worry.
yeah, so what's getting passed around now is our porter. It's a porter called porter. We're
A porter called porter.
Beer flavored beer.
yeah.
This is a porter flavored porter.
Yeah, it's we're kind of tired of all the cease and desist going around in the industry now.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of bullshit. So we're at this point just tired of coming up with names and registering, paying for them to be registered, only to hear from, some little podunk brewer in the middle of nowhere who's not in our market, never will be, saying, oh, well, you can't call it that.
Right.
So it's just porter. Nobody's going to send us a cease and desist for that.
But if you guys have ideas for a nice name that's not taken yet,
Wayne's
I
your
can't
guy.
say we wouldn't.
Wayne is definitely
Wayne
your
is
guy.
the name guy.
It's funny. We play trivia games on the podcast a lot, and I always write them. And we had a recording last night, and we played a game called Libation or Fabrication, where I find really weird or funny named beers, and then I make up some too, and they have to guess which is real and which is not. Anyway, long story short, I came up with 2 what I thought were really good fake beer names, Googled them, and they were both already in use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is getting harder and harder to do.
I like a porter named Porter.
A porter name. That's actually
Yeah,
just that.
I like that. A porter named Porter.
There you go. Write that one down. That's free.
All right. We'll put a little thank you on the bottle when we start bottling in the next 6 months.
There we go.
That's awesome.
I can live with that.
Yeah, so she kind of snuck in another
yes.
big announcement,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's that we're 4 to 6 months away from having 12-ounce bottles,
Nice.
and we're going to be
Nice.
doing 12-pack variety packs too. So we're really trying to appeal to the masses and give the people what they want. We're hearing a lot of people who really want to have a good selection and at a good price point, and you really just can't beat a 12-pack variety pack. So.
And will those
Absolutely,
bottles
yeah.
make their way to the Reading area?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we would never neglect you guys here in the center part of our state, other than our home territory in Allegheny County and surrounding counties. The center part of Pennsylvania is the best for us. So
Yep.
we just love you guys, and we get so much support from here in Reading and Lancaster and York and Harrisburg that we're really excited to be here. It's,
Awesome.
How about Philly? Is it going to get to Philly?
yeah, absolutely.
There you go,
Philly
Dan.
is the epicenter of our southeastern Pennsylvania distribution,
Perfect.
so you'll see it there.
If I can make one recommendation, Acme at 19th and Oregon, they need to have your beer. Just remember that.
That specific store.
Yes, that specific one, unless I move, but then they should still have it so other people can buy
We
it.
can talk more later.
All right, cool. I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
getting into grocery stores is always fun because they want all this uniformity for their SKUs, and it seems like every chain has different requirements. They all want very strict requirements, but they're all different.
It's like,
I
just
wouldn't
sell
have
my
thought of
beer
that.
already. Just here, sell
Yeah.
it.
But we're figuring out how to get it in there, even
Yeah.
if it requires different holders or whatnot.
Right.
I mean, Giant Eagle, even though we don't have bottles, the Giant Eagle, which is a giant chain on the western part of the state, is still one of our biggest buyers. So
Very cool.
Very good.
There, the Whole Foods here is also a good place to find us, especially in Plymouth Meeting
Oh, cool.
Oh, I
and
love that
Devon.
store. And
Yeah.
the Barley Mow has a lot of your bottles too, the
Yep.
bigger bomber bottles.
Yes. Yeah.
We were just there the other night.
Awesome. I like this beer. I don't think we've mentioned anything about this beer other than the name.
Oh, I already finished
But
it. Yeah, we didn't
it's,
talk about it. I already
it's,
finished
it's a solid porter.
It
For
is.
being, especially because it's so simple to have it, just called porter, but then it lives up to the style so well.
yeah, there's people expect like a sweetness and a creaminess to porters that they don't necessarily need to have.
Yeah.
This is just a super dry porter. It goes really well with food, and at 6.5%, you can kick back a couple,
Yep.
and you're going to be set.
And I could certainly see myself doing that.
Yep.
And I'd say the number one question I get about this beer is there coffee in it? And there is absolutely no coffee in it. It's just the roasting,
Yeah.
the roasting of the malts that's giving it that flavor.
That's awesome. I really like it. It's really, really good.
Well, there's more where that came from.
I like the sound of that
We know
as
where
well.
their table is.
Yeah, which I'll probably swing back over to at some point.
They had originally requested that we bring idle hands, and that didn't quite work out. So we kind of surprised them with what we brought, and I think we did okay. So,
Yeah,
say
Idle
so,
Hands
yeah.
is quite popular.
yes.
People love their Idle Hands.
Yeah,
it's a
it,
very delicious hoppy beer.
Yeah, people go crazy for that, especially in Philadelphia. We, whenever we make it, we send a truckload. It disappears from the warehouse within the first week, pretty much.
That's a
Every
good
time.
problem to have, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you'd be surprised because I know the hoppy beer is like the biggest seller here, but in our main market in Pittsburgh, the brown ale is actually the one that sells above and
Wow.
beyond everything else.
Yeah, it pretty much outsells everything else combined.
I mean,
Wow.
don't get me
Wow.
wrong, they
Yeah.
love the idle hands too, but it just disappears, that brown ale.
Yeah, it's in a lot of restaurants. Like there's, I don't know if you have P.F. Chang's out here.
Yeah.
But the P.F. Chang's in Pittsburgh generally has the brown ale on.
Oh, that's cool.
It just pairs so well with food, so you see it in a lot of restaurants, and that really drives the sale of that beer.
That's awesome. I can imagine that working very well then. That's cool. I wonder if the one by me has it. I'll have to check. I'll have to check it.
If not, I guess I have to go visit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got the Acme, you got the PF Chang's.
I haven't been to the PF Chang's by me.
But what else is near you that you want them to have their beer at?
My fridge.
Your fridge.
We can make that happen. I'm sure.
The bottles will really help that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely,
That's cool. That's exciting. That's good news. And you said probably about 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we've got the bottling line now. We're missing some parts for it that we need to get worked out. And once we do that, then we're going to make sure that the quality's there, that everything, all the quality assurance is done to make sure that the product that is actually in the market is exactly how we want it.
Right.
And we want to make sure that people continue never getting burned with a Helltown beer.
Yeah.
I mean, up until this point, if something isn't good, it gets dumped at the brewery. And our head brewer will come in the middle of the night and dump batches. I mean, if he doesn't like them,
that is good.
They don't leave. So
that is good. We feel pretty strongly about that. You should definitely, if it doesn't turn out right, you should not serve it.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. I know it's hard to do, but you do have to. Yeah, if something.
So our Belgian ale called Wretched is actually the main culprit for that. Just,
Oh, really?
just
oh boy, it is quite wretched brewing.
But hopefully, we just brewed a batch of that again, and hopefully that will be back around in about a month.
Cool.
Yeah, our head brewer did it himself, so there's only one person to blame this time.
Can't pass the buck to anybody else.
Yeah.
Is that why he comes in the middle of the night and dumps them?
Sometimes, yeah. It's so he doesn't have to catch a bunch of flack from the assistant brewers. Like, what are you doing? I spent all day doing that. So
They'd just be like, I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
here. I don't know.
It just evaporated.
Beer fairy came and took
Beer
it.
fairy.
The beer fair.
yeah, you end up with on the whiteboard, clean this fermenter, and it's like,
That would be one very drunk beer fairy.
Well, with a name like the Beer
The
Fairy.
Beer Fairy.
I mean,
This is true.
So that's a pretty good job. Where does one apply for that?
I don't know, but that's another name for a beer for you.
The Beer Fairy. Let's write that down. Oh, man. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming up to the table and bringing these delicious beers with.
Fantastic. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I look forward to what's coming down the road, and I hope you get into that Acme.
And
Absolutely.
keeping an eye out for those bottles.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you guys have to come out to the brewery sometime
Oh,
and maybe
I'd
do a
love to.
podcast from there.
We'd
Road
love to.
trip.
We'd love to.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Cheers,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.
All right, so we've got joining us at the table now a new friend, and I'm very happy to meet you. We've got Kevin here from Hidden River. Kevin, how are you?
I'm very, very good tonight.
Good. It sounds like you are.
I will.
Good. Awesome. Now, I know, Steph, you had been to Hidden River before.
And yeah, with Wayne.
And Wayne.
Yeah, we were both there.
Yet again, I'm left out. That's what happens with my schedule. But glowing reviews all around.
That's an awesome.
That makes us
Yes.
feel really, really good.
And I'm anxious to drink this beer in a good way. I've been sniffing it. I haven't tasted it yet. But I know you're saying you've got 2 saisons that are with you.
We brought 3 saisons.
3, but 2 up to the table.
2 at the table right now.
Well, before we get to that, where are you guys located?
We are in Douglasville.
Okay.
So we're not too far away. The building was the old Cabata's restaurant, which was the historic Britain Lodge, and that's where we are. So
Okay.
it's Britain Lodge, historic Britain Lodge, Hidden River Brewing Company. Not one and the same, but we are there.
Under the same
Yeah.
roof.
Yeah, exactly.
It is an awesome place. When Steph and I was there,
It's super historic,
it
super
is.
cool.
It's rustic and just
And we didn't change any of that, which is what I love so much about it.
yeah.
And it is right by the Hidden River, the Schuylkill River. It's right
I
there.
can probably throw a rock if I threw hard enough.
That's right.
Nice.
Now, you have a very tiny, cozy, I guess would be a better word, tasting room. But
Very.
you also have a very nice outdoor space. And
Yes.
are you expanding and growing in that area?
Yeah, that's the thing. The outdoor space was probably like 70% indoor space, 30% of our people capacity. And so yeah, as we've grown, as we're growing, we're 4 months in, we're trying to move that through the lodge itself to where we're hoping to get to by the end of the year, which is having another 30, 40 people inside. But throughout the whole entire thing, we've had another room that can probably seat 70 people, but it wasn't conducive to the situation. We had an outdoor space. This space can suit probably 70 to 100 people, and we're going to use that space now. Maybe right now people are sitting in there right now, but
As we speak,
As
right
we
now,
speak,
in this
there's-
moment.
right
now, we-
listening to this podcast because you're playing it there over the street, right?
we're 30 feet away and 30 miles away. So right now we can probably seat 100 people, and we're hoping to expand that to 150 people to 200 people within the next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Acting fast. I like
Well,
that.
it's getting cold.
Yeah.
You can't have people sitting outside, and that space was very conducive to people sitting outside for a very long time. We wanted to keep that available, but at the same time, we wanted to be able to grow with the people that we were serving, and that's what we're trying to do.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what saison are we starting with?
Right now, you're drinking Lillian.
Lillian. I haven't taken a sip yet, but it smells great. I've been smelling it.
So
That's nice.
tonight at Brewphoria, we brought 3 saisons, which why bring 3 saisons?
Because saisons are awesome.
Saisons are awesome. We do brew a lot of saisons, and that's very fun. But the reason we like to brew saisons and bring saisons places is because we're a farm-to-table brew pub. And what that means to me is we really bring our food from very close by.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those farmers give us herbs, give us fruits, give us things that really lend themselves to beer. Saisons are one of those places that lends itself to. So tonight we brought Lillian, which is a straight up, to me, a very classic saison. Brewed with Pilsner malt, brewed with rye, brewed with oats, brewed with wheat, Saaz hop throughout. But then we put it on kiwi berries. Kiwi berries from Broadwing Farms. Kiwi berries aren't kiwis, so that's a very interesting thing to put out to people because it's not like you're drinking a kiwi beer.
Right.
But they're very large, grape-like skins and everything of a berry. They're sweet, and if you hopefully do it right, you can get that flavor throughout. This saison it would be very dry, be very rustic, farmhousey, blah, blah, blah. And so what I think this lends to it is this terroir, very berry-like, maybe adjunct, very additional flavor that you wouldn't get without it. And we have these things available to us. We want to use them. We want to showcase things that are 10 miles, 12 miles, 15 miles away from us. And that's what I think some of these beers do, and that's what I think Lillian is.
It's really nice. You get the spiciness that you want from a saison, but then that sweet, that fruity sweetness comes out, and you're like, well, what is that? Is that an addition of something else? And then it does, like, you have the sweetness, but then it finishes nice and dry. It's very clean.
It's not sweetness from the malt. It's sweetness from something else.
Yeah.
And so
it
that's
makes
what I
you
like
go,
about
what
it.
is that?
Yeah, it's fun to us. The name comes from something that goes with the building, Lillian. We tend to name a lot of our beers for a variety of reasons, but some things that come from the lodge, Britain Lodge itself, that we wanted to keep going. And Lillian is a figure, she was a gardener, something that lended itself to this beer that we liked a lot, and we kind of try to bring those things into it.
Very nice.
And
it's
the
a very,
other,
very solid
the
saison.
other one is a very different looking saison.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was ours at first.
That beer is called Dark Bloom.
And rightly so.
Very, very different. It's black. It's as different as Lillian can come in terms of color, style, that people would perceive as style. We're a brew pub. We have 12 taps on. We really like to have fun, brew to what we think people like in terms of what they're buying, what they tell us they like, what we like to brew. And that is first and foremost. What we like to brew comes first and foremost. Hopefully what we like to make is what people like. And saisons, IPAs, there are 2 things that we like to make.
Yeah.
There are 2 things that people like to drink. But with 12 taps, you still have to have a lot of place fillers. And I always thought of ourselves first and foremost as like stouts, porters, brown ales, things that
Which is what this looks like.
It looks like it. It really does look like it. But so getting to that beer, it's called Dark Bloom. It was a saison. We wanted to make something different. We were brewing probably a saison or 2 a week sometimes.
Wow.
And that is a black saison. We didn't make it black in color for fun. We didn't make it black in color for trendiness. We tried to have that chocolate malt come through a little bit, and at the same time not have this acrid, roasty quality to it. We try to have the yeast still be forefront, that you know it's a saison, or not just a Belgian beer with black color to it. But we got tarragon from one of our farmers, Broadwing Farms, and we love them. We use them for so many things. They're a big part of our pub in terms of the food, but at the same time, in terms of the herbs we're getting and fruits we're getting that go to the beer, they're who we love them. And so with that beer specifically, there was Tarragon. And Tarragon has this anisey black licorice.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
I was
the
going to
first
say,
thing
is
I
that
got.
what I'm smelling?
First thing I
It's
got.
the first things that come to
Yeah.
people. And some people say over anisey, over black licoricey. Some people say it's perfect, it's spot on.
Yeah. No, it smells nice. At first, I was like, it's almost like a bay leaf, like it's an herbal, and I was like, kind of
And then he gave it
licorice.
that licorice
and-
character.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a beer that I think personally showcases what we're trying to do there, which is like
Oh.
bring these local flavors into our beers, and not just bring them into it and say we're doing it, but actually bring it to it.
Yeah.
And so that beer had that tarragon, so you get that anisey flavor. Behind that, it's a berry. It's called Russian olive berry. Some people confuse that with
Russian olive berry.
some people
Interesting.
confuse that with autumn berry. It's very unique. It's very tart. It can probably lend itself in different ways to different, like maybe lighter color beers. We liked it in this beer specifically because it gave something behind that black anisey,
Yeah.
maybe roasty, maybe chocolate.
when you smell it, you're like, oh, geez. But you get the tarragon, but then the sweetness from the berry kind of comes out and balances it, and the flavor is very well balanced and complex and not in your face. As when I was smelling it, I was expecting it to be like,
yeah, when you expect like the licorice, the anise flavor, you kind of expect it to be more potent throughout, but then it sweetens up at the end, and it almost gave me a little hint of like root beer.
There's
kind of in the middle there.
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what? Birch beery feeling.
Yep.
to it.
Yeah.
And it's probably something that we knew would be very strong bidding, very maybe not die out, but like mellow out throughout, where maybe that berry would kick in. But as we made it, we were very happy. We knew what was going to happen with it. We liked that berry. We liked what was going on with it. We liked what we did with the Saison. Not like a wheat beer, not like an IPA, something that would really lend itself to it. So we went with that. We're happy with it. We've used it in other beers since, and it's a cool beer. It's different,
It definitely is.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come back to the brewery and
Keep
try
making
more
saisons.
unique beers. Yeah,
Keep
just make
making
all
saisons.
saisons. That's
Just
fine.
make
with us.
saisons.
And Dark Bloom lends itself to. We name our beers for a variety of reasons, but that beer with the Russian olive berries lend itself to a Vladimir Nabokov novel, Lolita.
Oh,
which
okay, yeah.
Dark Bloom, it was part of that novel, and
Nice.
Russian olive berries, it just worked, and it was just more of a fun thing to do. And that's what we try to do, have fun, and that's a big
That's
part
right.
of
Beer
it.
should be fun.
Yeah, beer
It's-
damn
definitely
it.
should be fun.
In this day and age where there's so many breweries, so many things, and we're one of those new breweries, so I'm not like saying anything about any new breweries.
Right.
We really wanted to have fun with it.
Yeah.
As well you should.
Yeah.
And it shows. You're even just in talking about it, you can tell that you are so passionate about
For
it.
sure.
And I don't think you've stopped smiling since you sat down.
People probably, I smile 90% of the time. If they see me, I'm probably frowning because I'm stressed. I'm driving. I'm doing something silly that like results in not having fun. But when I'm actually drinking, enjoying beer, having fun, I'm always smiles.
Perfect.
Good. Keep smiling.
Yeah, keep smiling. Keep smiling indeed.
Keep on smiling. I'm gonna
Yes.
drink some more of this dark blue.
We have one more Saison here tonight, which maybe we're bringing on right now, maybe we're not. We have someone else pouring right now for us. It's called Yeah. It's another Saison. Again, 3 Saisons we brought. It's a Saison that after we re-fermented on top of Concord grapes, which we house pressed.
Oh wow.
We brought a whole bunch of Concord grapes in from Broadwing Farms, but they had Concord grapes. We pressed them. We made them juice. We threw a whole bunch of that, and then a whole bunch of wild grapes right on top of it. And it's very wine-like. It fermented down and down and down and down. It's very dry.
Yeah.
The color went from straw to almost coral-like. It's super cool what it did. It lent itself to a Saison more than anything else, and we're happy with it. So me and everybody at Hidden River Brewing Company are super stoked. We love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier with this.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very
That's
much
so
for being
cool.
supportive. Thank you for being there early on. Thank you much for today. It's awesome.
And we'll be back. We can't wait. Watch our schedule. We will be at Hidden River
you
when
guys
it
are-
warms up.
You guys are everywhere, and we're awesome to be on your radar, so that's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you're kicking
Great
out beers
spot.
like this, you're going to stay on that radar.
Thank you very
For
much,
sure.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming up to the table and giving us these brews.
Thank you for having us.
Man,
Absolutely,
Yeah, awesome,
absolutely.
cool. Well, I look forward to it, and we definitely gotta figure out when we can come out to your place.
For sure.
Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Awesome,
Thank
you
you.
too,
You
man.
too, man.
Cheers.
Cool, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, well, Dan is apparently dying in the corner, so up at the table with us, a good friend returning to the microphone here on Beer Busters is Chris from Hijinks. How you doing today?
Good to be back. It was a good time last time.
It was. Good to have you back. I'm going to keep rambling while Dan is, I don't know what's going on over there.
Hijinks is getting ready to celebrate an anniversary, right?
Yes, 1 year anniversary next weekend. All weekend we're going to be doing specials, all different things. We're going to be releasing our barrel-aged beer from the first batch of beer we ever brewed.
The Learning Curve.
Right.
Yes, Learning Curve, 240 22-ounce bottles being bottled this week, so be a very limited release, but you got to come into the tasting room to get it.
That's pretty awesome. And congratulations on the anniversary.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's great.
We're excited.
So we have 3 Hijinks beers at the table, and we're starting with the Wicked White. Which is a wit.
Ooh, this is what we had. I'm not dead, by the way. I'm back.
Oh, hey.
He's back.
I'm back, and I'm alive. This is what we started with when we got there, right?
Yes,
I think so.
Oh,
Yes.
God, this was so good. Every beer was good, but this was a good way to start that night of lots of drinking.
It has those Belgian notes that you just want
it's just
in
so
a Belgian wit.
nice.
Bubblegummy and
and
spicy.
a little biscuity and a little, like,
You're a little biscuity.
I am a little biscuity.
What does that even mean?
I'm not sure if that's a compliment. I don't know.
Just take it
I
as
don't
a
know what that
compliment.
is.
When all else fails.
When you have a beer in your hand, of course, it's a compliment. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I love this beer. This is so good. What was the ABV on this one? I forget.
5.
Okay. All right.
Nice and easy drinking. And
Easy
just
drinking.
a solid wit beer, just with, like you said, all the characteristics you want out of a good wit beer is what you get.
And it's a great year-round beer.
Yeah.
A
Yes,
good,
for
complex year-round beer that you can see yourself drinking on the patio in the sun. You can have it with a nice Thanksgiving-like meal in the winter, fall, whatever season that still is.
Podcasting at a
Just
beer
trying.
fest.
Summer or fall.
You can have it with your Halloween candy. No, it's a good beer.
What Halloween candy would you eat with this?
Twizzlers.
Candy corn.
I feel like nobody likes candy corn. I like candy corn, but a lot of people don't.
Twizzlers.
Few pieces. I'm good.
Few pieces,
Yeah,
you can't go overboard. with
Not a
candy
whole
corn.
cob.
Not a whole cob of candy corn.
Nice.
Well played.
my.
Well played.
Oh my.
No, I love this beer. It's so easy drinking,
Thank you.
and it's so complex yet simple at the same time, which it just hits home.
Yeah, definitely. It's an easy drinker for a lot of people. Easy beer for people to try, even if they're not into craft beer necessarily.
Yeah, no, it works out so well. I love it.
Now I'm really excited for this next one because when we were there, we didn't have this.
No, we didn't have that. This one.
is my favorite Hijinks beer.
I've
I just had
never-
it this Tuesday night here at Canal Street on Nitro.
I've heard Steph talk about how good this beer is, and I have never had it.
So
I'm
what
very
is
excited.
this mysterious beer that I have yet to know what we're talking about?
This is Barista's Choice.
Oh.
It's a brown porter.
Oh, we were talking about this when we were there.
Yeah, so it's not a heavy porter like you are normally thinking as porter. It's a light drinking porter. And then we put a heavy dose of organically grown Honduran coffee into it. It's locally roasted, local to us anyway, in Northampton. Taylor Roasting custom roasted coffee for us, and we actually brew coffee and put it right in the beer.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
See? Told you.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
That is really good. It's got like a nice nutty character to it. I wasn't really expecting.
And there's a little creaminess with it then too.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God, this is good.
Yeah,
Steph,
for this year is the first time we released it on Nitro. It was out last year, but this is the first year we've released it on Nitro, and it's been going over very well on Nitro as well.
oh, this is delicious.
I can imagine.
Oh, the nuttiness, the roastiness, the creaminess,
And there's even a subtle
coffiness.
a little bit of hint of vanilla almost in there, and a lot going on, and delicious. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was at Hijinks the morning after the opening party, and I had this beer, and I was like, this is a brewery I need to come back to.
Yeah.
I went to interview you guys and write the article. I don't think you were there the first time,
I don't
Chris.
think I
don't
was
think
there.
you were there. But Kurt was there, and the other guys were there, and yeah, this was the beer that I was like, this is a brewery worth going back to for sure.
Thank you.
Delicious, delicious coffee beer. We had COB just a few minutes ago. We had John from Free Will here, and that's always been one of my favorite coffee beers ever, and it's hugely popular. This
one won't get you as drunk as quickly.
No, exactly.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that one was so high in alcohol.
Yeah.
It's.
I give John a hard time about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to make a smaller version. He's like, oh, we just made a bigger version. They're making a barrel-aged version that's 11%.
11 rum barrels.
Like, please. But coffee beers are great.
I didn't leave you much, Wayne. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Ooh, so this is this Citra IPA is experimental batch 3?
3, correct. Experimental IPA number 3. It went over so well that it will be coming out on the big system. So we will be.
It graduated.
Yes, it graduated. So this was only 1 barrel. This is the second batch of it we did, and it's going to be coming out on the big system.
Oh wow,
that's yummy.
Citra Squeeze.
Citra Squeeze.
I like that.
I wrote that down.
So what other small batch beers do you have coming up or in the works?
The Basil will be coming out soon again. Did you guys have that when you were there? The
we
Basil
didn't
IPA?
have it on the podcast, but I did have it.
Did we have it when we were there with?
The home? No. Oh, with the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we did have it one time. Not podcast time.
Not podcast time.
Other
we
visit
were
time.
just hanging out, going to breweries. But
I feel left out again.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming back out again. We have a Wee Heavy in the process, so that'll be coming out in probably a month or two. It's conditioning right now, so that'll be an interesting one that we never tried before. So we're excited about that one.
Cool.
Cool.
Yep.
And the barrel aging, of course.
Barrel
still
aging
going
is
well.
still going. Yeah, we haven't pulled anything out recently, but still going well. Like I said, the learning curve that'll be the next barrel release. That's in the bright tank right now.
And that will be bottles only, or will you have some on tap?
We will
for
have
the
some
event?
on tap for the weekend. It's going to be 5-ounce pours only. No growlers to go because we have very small amount.
Oh yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
So in-house only.
Well, one more reason to get back to Allentown.
That's
yeah,
right.
come on back.
I would love to. Well, you guys have a hell of a complex there too, because you have. There's you guys. There's the meadery and the distillery. So like it's your liver's best friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Or
worst
opposite.
enemy.
It is your one-stop shop.
Depending on how the night goes. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of good stuff there. Have you done any? I know there was talks of projects with County Seat.
Yeah, County Seat. We sent the Still Your Face down the hall to them. They distilled it, so that's in process now.
Cool.
Needs to be aged in barrels. But you guys tasted that when you were there, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I thought there might have been more, because wasn't it? We were even thinking of this last night when we were talking about barrel aged beers at Flying Fish. So they distill something, you age a beer in the barrel, but then send the barrel back to them to redistill something in it.
What happens normally is they'll age spirit in it, send it to us, we'll age beer in it, send it back to them, they'll put spirit in it again, kind of go back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth.
So far they haven't emptied too many barrels because it takes a while. So their bourbon hasn't come out yet. They're hoping to have it out by the end of the year.
Oh, cool.
And when that happens, then we'll have barrels from them to age beer and go back and forth.
That's awesome.
Start the process.
Nothing like being able to get barrels right down the hall.
Yeah, literally
I know,
10
right?
feet away. That's
pretty
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of good.
You're seeing it. I keep interrupting
Go ahead, please.
you. I feel so bad.
That's all right. I almost died at the beginning of this one. So
Well, you're seeing this more and more with multiple alcohol making businesses being together.
Yeah.
Like we have the Bucks County Brewery,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
friends there, which are just about ready to release their Thanksgiving beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I know is a big deal for them, and they're right there with Hewn Spirits.
That's right.
And
That's
then
what it
you
was.
have Thistle Finch with Wagger Brewing in Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's neat to see those.
And then they're at Sly Fox, right? Across from
Oh
Sly
yeah,
Fox.
across the street.
Is Manatoni.
Yeah, and I was there. They were closed though. So we didn't get to hang out. We talked to them for a little bit, and they snuck us a few samples of things. But I would love to get back there as well and do something similar like what we did with you guys, where talk to Sly Fox, but also get the distillers on as well.
Also, cans are in process. Labels are submitted, so we're waiting for approval on those.
Oh,
and
cool.
Excellent.
And we'll be doing some cans. We're going to do Wicked White first and Hop Havoc, which we don't have today, but you guys tried that
Great
when you were
beer,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
And then baristas will be after that as well.
Oh, of course.
Yay, good
That'd
news.
be awesome. Baristas in a can. Oh, yeah.
And then I'm thinking probably Citrus Squeeze will end up being in cans eventually.
I consider going over well in cans. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll see.
This is exciting news.
Yeah.
Yes, it
there's
is.
a lot of good
Very
stuff on the
exciting.
horizon,
Yeah,
which
we're
is
excited.
glad to hear. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for stepping up here with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
And
Always fun talking to hijinks.
Absolutely. There's a lot of hijinks at the table.
We'll have to get back.
Tomfoolery in
Tomfoolery in every pint.
In every pint. We're gonna have to get back for some more tomfoolery.
That's right.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
You never know what can come out when you show up.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
We learned that.
Oh,
we love surprises.
That's right.
This is true. Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much, man.
Yes,
No problem.
Thank
Cool.
you, Chris.
Thank you.
Cheers. So now we've got somebody joining us who's been at the table with us for a little bit now, and it's somebody who I'm very, and I have to use the word excited to have on the show.
I'll allow it.
Okay, good, thanks. I appreciate that.
That's a bold word.
It is a bold word, and I
word.
feel like I'm not just throwing that word out there for the sake of it. We got John with us from Evil Genius, and now John is the newest member of the team. You are the head brewer.
Something like that.
Something like that. That's what they call you, at least. You are the head brewer for the. Is it safe to say brew pub, or should I just say brewery?
It'll be a brewery / tasting room with
Okay.
a small menu, so I
Okay.
think you can call it brewery. That sounds good.
All right, so we'll go with brewery. So
At an undisclosed
an
location.
undisclosed location that I've been told you currently have keys to, and I know the neighborhood that it's in.
It is in the Fishtown neighborhood.
Okay, keep your keys close. Let me
The
just
keys
say
were in
that.
my pocket last time I checked.
Okay, all right. You might want to check again. But no, I'm very happy that that everything's on the move for you guys, and it's. I think it's safe to say that when Luke and Trevor were on, that was what, 2 years ago at this point, about 2.5
The
years
first
ago.
time?
For the
Yeah.
first time, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. It was a long time ago.
I think that was the first episode that we kind of, at least on my end, we became. It became more than just a hobby to do this, and I think they were the first professional brewers, business owners that we had on that took us seriously also. Not to say that people didn't before that, but this was super early on, single-digit episode numbers. But it's cool to see the growth that's come out of Evil Genius. And you yourself have a very impressive background as well, coming from Tired Hands and
Earth Bread and Brewery.
Earth Bread and Brewery from before that. So, I mean, respectable names in the Philadelphia beer scene, and now you're jumping into Evil Genius to help with everything that's coming down the road for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is so great. And everything I've had from Evil Genius, I've loved. And that's, I mean, it's partly due to the fact that everybody on the team is awesome.
Yeah,
and you guys are so cool. And, I mean, the beers you're kicking out are fantastic. And you had with you Make Like a Tree and Get Out of Here.
That we do.
Which was great. And I know you were saying you use coffee from Elixir in Center City, Philly.
Correct.
So what sparked the partnership with them?
I'm kind of a big coffee nerd, too. In my off time, I like to try different coffee all over the city, and I think Elixir is roasting some of the best beans in the area. So I, reached out to them and see if they'd be willing to work with us, and yeah.
That's cool. Now, was that the first recipe that you had done as brewer for Evil Genius, or was that like collaborative, or?
I've come up with a couple recipes for them thus far. I kind of came on board and tweaked a lot of their recipes and made them make a lot more sense. So yeah. But I mean, it's all a collaborative process.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. So we all kind of come up with everything together.
Yeah. So I know you guys have a lot that's coming down the road too. Besides, the brewery that's eventually going to open in the undisclosed location.
Yes.
But you have a lot of beers that are coming on the way. Steph, I know you said you have a bottle of Santa I Know Him.
Santa I Know Him, which just came out.
So I know I've asked them before, Luke and Trevor, but what about the names? The names are fantastic. From Make Like a Tree and Get Out Here to Santa I Know Him to Stacy's Mom to I Love Lamp to Purple Monkey Dishwasher. My question is, one, how do you legally get away with the names? And two, how do you come to the conclusion of that name? Like, every name hits me on a different level because I love everything that it seems like you guys love. Beer, the pop culture references.
Right.
But I'm sure lawyers out there have something else to say.
That's all Luke and Trevor. They come up with the names, man. I can take no credit for that. I just help them realize the vision of what those beers are supposed to be, I guess.
Do they come to you with a name and say, make a beer for this? Or?
It's kind of, I think every brewery has a running list of about 50 names that they want to use. And then you kind of slowly draw at them as needed. So
that's cool.
Yeah, we have a big old list of names and then different beers we want to make. So
yeah.
And there's a new one coming out next week, right?
There is, yeah. We have Han Shop First, which is double IPA that's coming out. Next month, we have a vanilla-infused Belgian porter. It's called Everything's Coming Up Millhouse.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so
nice.
That's amazing. And so, since you've been there, I don't know if it's just the timing or once they announced that you were there, I feel like I've seen more releases from them than I ever have.
Yeah, that was part of it. I mean, I encourage them to do a lot more one-offs and like they have someone more in a creative role now for them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we were sipping on.
Make Like a Tree.
Make Like a Tree. I don't know why I just blanked on that. But we were sipping on Make Like a Tree, and that has the layers to it, the roasty coffee with the orange zest that's in there, but you get the nuttiness, and
it's well balanced, so nothing
there,
overpowers something else, and it's not like a gimmicky beer. Like you mentioned earlier as we were chatting, that it's something you could drink a whole pint of.
Yeah,
Some of these
absolutely.
crazy beers you can't, but that is you definitely can.
But you may want to stop at 1 pint of that because it was, 7.5%?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that's going to sneak up on you.
Yeah, a pint or two. You might be okay.
Depending on the night. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, everything I've had from Evil Genius has been
Dan is like
fantastic.
an Evil Genius commercial.
Listen, I am. I know. I gush a little bit when anybody from Evil Genius is on, but it's because you guys are also cool. The beers are delicious. You market yourselves very well, and it just the growth that we've seen, and to have a partnership with you guys from almost the beginning of both of us has been so cool. And just coming from our end of the table, I'm excited to have you with them because it seems like you're already doing a lot of great things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're just getting started. So
and that's awesome.
Big future.
And I have to ask, last night, of course, was Friday the 13th, one of the big events in Philly at the Gray Lodge, and you guys had peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, we did.
Peanut butter belly with a J's ball bat.
Can you tell us a little bit about that beer?
Yeah, it was essentially Purple Monkey dishwasher, just with some different finishing products. So it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a firkin.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
So maybe in the future, maybe again.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Just
twist your arm a little.
If we get enough requests on social media.
So there you go.
Then
Tweet
it
at them.
might
Do it,
happen.
people,
yes.
do it.
Yeah,
We'll
go ahead.
start a
Tweet,
petition.
Instagram, Facebook, do it all.
Hashtag PBJ Evil Genius. Evil
Yes.
Genius PBJ.
Perfect.
I'm not good at coming up with hashtags. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'll allow the hashtags, though.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. And you also have with you tonight my favorite, Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
Indeed.
I love that beer so much.
I've heard.
It lives up to the hype. It lives up to the name. It lives up to the bright purple label. It's a really delicious beer.
Whenever I mention that beer to anybody, first, they laugh at the name. And second is, well, what is that beer? And I tell them, chocolate peanut butter porter. And then they immediately ask, well, what about Sweet Baby Jesus?
Yeah.
I always have to tell them that Purple Monkey Dishwasher will always beat out Sweet Baby Jesus for me. It's just blended so much better. I mean, nothing against DuClaw and what they're doing, but the layers of the flavor there, it almost tastes kind of like you have a Reese's cup in your porter.
Yeah, I agree. No, I mean, DuClaw makes, I think, some fucking awesome beers. So,
yeah.
And I think Sweet Baby Jesus is killer. But like ours, I think is a little drier, a little less sweet, a little more balanced,
Yeah,
maybe a little less heavy on the palate. So,
and that's what
just
I like
a different
about it.
animal.
Yeah, the sweetness doesn't linger in the background. Because if you have something that has a heavy chocolate flavor, it's going to hang around for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this doesn't. It tastes good, cleans itself up, but wants you to come back in for more.
Yeah,
Stealing my line.
I love it.
So how
Great.
excited are you to get into your brewery and have all that freedom and do all this creative stuff?
I'm very excited. I'm excited to build it. I'm very much looking forward to build out. So, yeah.
Are you going to do the building of it?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to right now.
Yeah,
so.
it's a really cool opportunity too. I mean, you've worked at some pretty great breweries in your past, but to get in on the ground floor.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a very obvious next step for me.
Yeah,
without taking on too much.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, definitely.
Now I know we were chatting about this before this time recording. You're going to have your big system to kick out the regular ones, but you're going to have an experimental system as well to do more one-offs, right?
Well, essentially, we'll keep working with Thomas Hooker, who makes our beers right now.
Okay.
And they'll keep doing our seasonal products and the stuff that goes into bottles and whatever. And then a lot of the one-offs and keg beer will be coming from our facility. So,
if you have what you think will be a one-off and it goes over extremely well, a lot of demand, sells really well, do you think that would make it into regular rotation?
It's tough to say at this point. Depends on the beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
what kind of crazy ideas are you cooking up? You probably can't say. Never mind. I didn't ask that.
I'll keep the air of mystery for now.
That's the evil genius way.
Yeah, right. The picture that we snapped of you to go on our website has the mysterious air about you.
That's fantastic.
So you're holding up that allure very well.
It's an exciting time to be an evil genius right now.
Yes. Right. Or to be a fan of evil genius.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Although it's also got to be frustrating because you got to keep your mouth shut about a lot of things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, we still expect the news to be broken with us, and we've been told that it will happen. I just know there's probably a lot of legalities and hoops to jump through with it. You're buying a commercial space for beer.
Exactly. Yeah, it takes a long time, but we're right around the corner from announcing it and starting construction. So
perfect. That is fantastic, and it's music to my ears.
Great.
Awesome. John, it was so great meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for bringing this up here. I'm probably going to come over, and I'm going to be the reason
Dan's
that Make Like
you.
a Tree gets kicked.
Great.
Tonight.
Please. We have a lot of it, so I need some help.
I got a lot of room in my liver, so we're good. Awesome. John, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
It was great
cheers,
meeting
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Cheers.
So now we have joining us at the table, we have Casey from River Horse. Casey, how are you tonight?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Good to hear. I've had River Horse plenty of times before, because you guys are in Jersey, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
I used to work in Jersey. I used to work at Cherry Hill. And the Total
Sorry
Wine.
to hear that.
It got me to other places. But the Total Wine that was right across the street from the mall, I used to work in the mall. And because I hated working retail, almost every week I'd be in Total Wine immediately after one of my shifts. But I would go in, and it was the logo that got me, I guess, intrigued as to what River Horse had to offer, because it's a hippo. And you don't see that very often.
No. Oh, wow. So River Horse in Africa refers to hippos. Part of the reason why the original owners went with River Horse was because we were right along the canal, and that referred to the donkeys and horses that pulled the barges or whatnot up and down the canal. When the new owners bought out the company in 2007, they fell in love with, on one of our cases, I believe it was special, it had a toad and a hippo sharing just a mug of ale. And they're like, you know what, we need to roll with that hippo. So
Very good.
That's
Very
awesome.
Good.
I think the first thing I had, and after this was so long ago, it might have been probably the IPA.
Okay, IPA. That we just started brewing that about 2 years ago, I believe. We had to put Hopalotamus, our double IPA, on hiatus because we didn't really want it to fight with an IPA. Yeah. And then, we have Hop Hazard, but that's an American pale. So, yeah, the IPA would be my Friday go-to.
Okay. It's a good one. It's
during the summer, then we get into winter. Then I'm all about the oatmeal milk stout. Then January, I'm all about the chocolate porter. Then it kind of progresses, but it always comes back to the IPA.
Always comes back to the IPA, of course. There's a saison you guys make.
The Sassoon.
Yes,
Yep,
yes.
yep.
That is one of my. I'm really into saisons, and that's a really good one. That one always stands out for me.
That one, that beer actually opened my eyes to saison styles. I really didn't like saison styles when I first got into brewing and home brewing and everything. And the head brewer designed this beer. Actually designed 3 different versions of it, and we as a company, we always sit down and be like, we always do at least 3 styles before we release a beer. We sit down as a company and decide, I like this about this one, this about that one, don't like this, don't like that, so on and so forth. But with that one, it really opened up my eyes to that style. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing I know, I think after we released that beer, like the next year and a half, home brewing wise, that's all I was doing was saisons.
Saisons all the time. Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a good style to go for. I know there was another brewery that they had 3 saisons with them tonight. And
we had from Hidden River.
Yeah, Hidden River. We had
Hidden River,
2,
River Horse.
Yeah, exactly. We had 2 of them on the show, and they're very, very different in and of themselves. But they were both extremely good. And your saison, I've had that before too. That was one of the ones I got probably at Total Wine. Solid beer.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm excited to drink what we have with you. You brought 3 beers to the table. We're starting off. I think the Belgian is the first one we're starting off with, which is the Belgian Freeze. Yeah.
Yes, 8.5%. It's like a Belgian style amber. It's a winter release for us, so we do it every year. Pretty much November into December, we're brewing and packaging that. So
it's got an excellent aroma. It's got a nice sweetness to it. Almost like a syrupy sweetness in the aroma.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the caramel taste that's in that one.
Oh, yeah.
The yeast that we use for that actually feeds. It comes from our Belgian triple, which is triple horse, and so we'll feed Belgian Freeze with that yeast. Out of the two, I'm more towards the Belgian Freeze than triple. It just to each their own, Right. I get it with IPAs. Some people are like, oh no, I don't like IPAs. It's like, how could you not like IPAs? But I totally get it. So
it's okay. Yeah. Everybody likes their own thing. We actually that reminded me. We had from Molly Pitcher Brewing. Zach, their brewer there, and we were recording at the brewery, and we were talking about something, but he goes, people who drink Miller Lite, they're not bad people. my favorite quotes ever.
Yeah.
Actually, whenever I do events, and it's kind of a little, I don't want to say joke, but Triple Horse is our best seller, and then whenever we do events, I notice it when I do events, I always get the Budweiser drinker, the Coors drinker, and I get it. I grew up in those households, and that's, people are fixed to and everything, but they're like, hey, I'm not into dark beers, I'm not into hoppy beers, what do you have? And it's always like, here's Triple.
Yeah.
And they try it, and they're like, oh, that's really good. It's like, oh, that's 10%, by the way. So that's, 4 or 5 of what you're used to drinking.
Yeah. And it happens to be full of flavor, which the other ones are not. Now you have the IPA with you as well, which
yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the first one I had, because it took me a while to figure out that there was a Total Wine across the street from where I worked, which made me hate my first, year or two that I was at that mall. But admittedly, I don't know which of these is the IPA.
Berliner.
But
yeah, it's gonna be that one.
Yep, this would be it. So let's pour that. I feel bad. Steph will have to try these.
Steph is over
things.
there making us money.
Steph
right
is
now,
making
so.
us money, yes, but she will have to try these beers. I think she's got a little bit of the Belgian over there as well.
Oh wait, I think Steph's back.
Oh, Steph is back. All right,
back for making us money.
All right.
Okay, we'll save you some IPA.
Yeah, so we got some IPA left for you. The Belgian's really, really good. Yeah. And now into the IPA, which I was saying to Casey is I think the first River Horse beer that I had. So this is like an old school throwback.
Oh, it's quite good. It's very drinkable. I like drinkable IPAs.
That's the one thing we really want. Actually, as a company as a whole, or a brewery as a whole, we tend to find that the way the market's going is it's all about wild, wacky, small. Yeah. What could I get that you haven't had? Mm-hmm. We kind of look at it as we want to appeal to everyone, so we want to have really just nicely rounded, drinkable beers.
Yeah.
So, some people fault us for it, and they're like, you guys could just go all out and do wild and wacky, and we're like, but that kind of closes off some of the customers.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to reach out to everyone and so that the super beer nerds can be like, oh, I can do this, when the Budweiser drinkers or whatever go, okay, wow, I like this beer.
Right.
So.
I don't know if I was supposed to, but I poured myself some of the Berliner.
That's fine. I was making my way.
It's really nice. That's the one I really wanted to try.
I was excited for that one too.
I've got one last note about the IPA that I don't know that I got before with it. Do I get a little vanilla out of it? Or am I just imagining that?
In all honesty, I'd hate to shoot you down on that one, but it's a lot of Falconer's Flight, Wakatu, and Citra, and Cascade, and I should know this one. Cascade and Chinook. I'm sorry.
Okay. It might have just been leftover fragments from other beers that are in there.
You taste what you taste. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's palate's different. Sometimes I hear some things and it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you picked that up. All right, cool.
So we've got the Cherry Berliner Weiss now, which is, did you say 4.5%?
4.5.
Okay.
Which is kind of high for a Berliner, actually.
Yeah, you can't win them all,
Nothing wrong with that.
We did that one there. There was
quite nice.
I want to say there was 6 test batches that we did of that, ranging from like 3% to a little bit higher than what you're drinking now. I think the highest one we went with was like 5.5, 6, somewhere around there. We tried all different types of strains of yeast and lacto that we used in it. We even tried going with like just wild, letting it just kind of sour up overnight and everything. But as a production brewery, you always want to have that bottle taste the same as the last bottle.
Yeah.
So we didn't really go with like the overnight souring and the mash and all like that.
Although I'd really like to try that.
What I like about the cherry and the sourness on it is you get the tartness right away out of it, and then it mellows out, so you feel and you get the rest of the flavor profile of it, which I don't think you get very often from a lot of sours. Like mostly my experience with sours is it hits you up front and then it stays there at the end.
And then it just rips the enamel off your teeth, and it's sour to be sour. Well, once again, I mean, with that one, Berliner Weisses, they're not really. I mean, if you look it up, they're not really supposed to be super sour.
No,
they're supposed to be tart. And once again, that kind of falls back on us with going. We want to be drinkable. We want everyone to be able to appreciate the beers.
Right.
So we didn't really want to go with the super sour. The head brewer, once we did, let's see. So we originally did this beer as just a Berliner Weiss, and we got a lot of great reviews on it. And as we were getting all the reviews back on it, we ended up getting some Chardonnay barrels, and it was from a local winery. I believe the winery was Alba, and Chris Rocco, the head brewer at River Horse, was like, "Yeah, I want to put Berliner in these Chardonnay barrels, and I want to throw these tart cherries in here." And I think we did, it was 28 pounds of tart cherries per barrel.
Wow.
Per wine barrel, I should say.
Yeah.
So, and then we had this, it was actually our first barrel release that we did. We did it on a Saturday. Some people weren't too happy about it, but it is what it is. Can't win them all, can't make them all happy. And we sold out. I believe we had 800 bottles for it, and we sold out in 2 hours.
Nice.
And it actually got to the point where the owner of the company went back into his office, took his first cases that we bottled, and he held on to bottle number 1 to put on his desk and everything. But all the other cases that he had ended up selling. So he just wanted to make sure that people that made it out to us at least got a bottle of it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Wow.
And it's good to hear that there's that level of success there, and it's also good to know that there's yet another brewery in Jersey making solid beers.
Thank you.
We've crossed the bridge twice to record, and it's good to know that there's good stuff coming out of there. Not that I doubted that there would be, but
I'm surprised. I mean, I live in northern Bucks County, and I have quite a commute to get to River Horse every day. And I'm really surprised. Jersey's got this, like, I mean, I guess maybe because it's Jersey, but there's a lot of breweries popping up that just make great beers, and then Jersey's just kind of like, everyone forgets about Jersey. I mean,
you kind of get that kind of feeling. Like, hey, we're here, guys. And and there are some stellar breweries.
And there I am kind of stuck because I'm a PA boy driving into Jersey every day, and people just look at me all weird.
In Jersey. I don't know.
That's
how I was. Yeah, but at least you're contributing beer to the world. I sold things. But no, it's great to hear, and I'm glad that you have these amazing beers with you here, so you can share them with Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
It's great, and I can't thank you enough for coming up to the table with us.
Thank you for having me.
And I didn't get a chance to say you've got a very impressive beard and hat.
Thank you.
Kudos on both
Actually,
of those.
the hat I bought in New Orleans just to find out that they manufacture them in Allentown.
No way. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's funny. And then the beard, every year we have a beard.
The beard I bought in New Orleans.
It's all natural.
Okay.
Every year, October 1st, we have a beard competition. Everyone comes in clean shaven. Last man to shave wins. I won it 2 years in a row, and then the third year, I just kind of stepped back as reigning champion, let some of the other guys, kind of take a win here and there. And surprisingly, the wife loves it and told me that if I shave it, we're getting a divorce. So
Staying, all right.
I gotta keep it growing.
Yeah, for good reason. But I don't think you can be a guy working at a brewery if you don't have some form of beard.
Yeah, if you don't have some beard or mustache or something.
Or at least cargo shorts.
Actually, during I've been a part of interviews, and the head brewer and I have this little joke of we have the beard system. So it's 5 beards is so it's kind of measuring beards.
Nice. Cool. Awesome. Well, Casey, thank you so much for coming up to the table with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Cool. Well, have a good rest of your night. Cheers, man. So we had a lot of good stuff so far on the show, and
I feel like it's been a little long.
It's been a little long, and that's why we're breaking in here, just the three of us. It's a little bit of guest list action just for now, only because we're splitting this into 2 parts. So
for sure.
Yeah. That's the beauty of Brewphoria. There's a lot of good stuff that goes on. Wayne, save me a sip of that. I want that.
All right.
Sorry, I just want a sip. It's okay.
Okay.
John Stemler dropped off
a sip.
Right. John Stemler dropped off a bottle of Free Will Blood and Guts, so we could try that, and Wayne tried to kill it all off before I could have it.
It's really good.
I know. That's why I want a sip of it. But there's a lot of good stuff that is coming, and we promise the second part will be out soon. The first part of the show was brought to you, of course, by Audible. audibletrial.com/beerbusters, free 30-day trial of Audible, and you can download a free audiobook. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Get a free thing. Support us. Awesome.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't have time to read. I like audiobooks. They make me feel like I'm reading.
It's good for when you're sitting on the scoop.
Somebody's doing the reading for me, and
exactly.
I appreciate that. So audibletrial.com/beerbusters. Get a free book and support a good cause. There's a lot of good stuff that's coming up in part 2 of this episode, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that this is the end of another sort of episode.
It's the end of this part of the episode.
This part of the episode, at least, of Beer Busters. I've got 35 seconds to think of something to talk. This is what happens.
This has been fun.
In all honesty, we're recording this at the very end of the night, and there's been a lot of beer and a lot of beer.
Yeah, you listen to part 2. You'll be filled in.
You'll understand.
It's a good time.
By the end of the next part of this episode. So, I am Dan Baker, joined, as always, by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
And our fermenter Tanner,
Wayne Baker.
And I promise there's a lot of good stuff on the way. I don't think any squids were harmed in this episode. A lot of beers have been sacrificed.
Faux shizzle.
Faux show. We'll see you next time.
I'm not really here. It's all an illusion.
Pause safe.